Hello again, everyone. This is Rudolph Wilkins of Forgotten Fitness, and today I will be bringing to you quite possibly my most exciting video to date. In this video, I will be explaining to you how Bill Pearl built his Titanic triceps. Now, if any of you follow me on any other social media platform, you'll know that Bill Pearl is without a doubt my favorite bodybuilder of all time. From his world-class physique to his amazing writing capabilities, Bill Pearl is a true inspiration to all of us. Now, in particular, I think Bill Pearl perhaps looks the best in history in the side tricep pose, and I've always thought that. I first read Keys to the Inner Universe when I was 7 years old, and I just thought Bill Pearl, he looked like a cartoon character. To me, I could not imagine a human being looking like this. I was very inspired, and me being a very tall man, over 6'5", I struggled, and still to a large degree, struggle to this day to develop really large arms. But looking at these photos of Bill have really inspired me to work my arms harder. And through this whole social media endeavor, I have had the fortune to actually speak to Bill Pearl over Messenger. And I asked him myself, how did you build your triceps? And in this video, I'll actually show you his response to my question and some exercises you can use to actually build your triceps. And if you have any questions regarding any of this, just let me know in the comment section and I'll get back to you. But I hope you enjoy. As mentioned previously, I've had the fortune to actually ask Bill Pearl myself, what did you do to build your triceps? How did you build your enormous world-class arms? And this is essentially verbatim what he told me. He said, I used barbell and dumbbell extensions, either standing, seated, or in a prone position, reps from 6 to 8 for several sets. Now, breaking this down, you can see Bill Pearl has always been an advocate of the old school methods, obviously. He is an older man now, and he trained back then when there were not so many machines, hardly any at all. You might have a cable machine in a gym, but not much more. So you can see he's very much a traditionalist as far as barbells and dumbbells. To me, what I take from this, though, is the 6 to 8 reps, because in him telling me this, you can tell he trained his triceps in a way that he was using power movements. These extensions were not done for 12 reps, for 15 reps. These were power movements to really get the blood flowing and to push the most amount of poundage he could. And this is very different from a lot of people who train their arms. Maybe they're doing 15, 20 sets to get a burn, to get a pump. No, Bill Pearl trained his triceps to make them legitimately stronger and bigger, and it worked out for him. He approached bodybuilding in what we would call now as power building. And this wasn't for all body parts, but in particular the arms, his reps were surprisingly low. And this was really because he was using power exercises to build his arms to the maximum ability. So in the next slide, I will actually explain to you a couple of exercises I'm fairly confident he used, and I'll explain them to you and demonstrate them for you. So that was pretty much the end of our conversation. He didn't really go into details exactly the exercises he used, just that he used barbells and dumbbells, and that he did tricep extensions. Now, there are many different types of tricep extensions, and if you've read Keys to the Inner Universe, you'll know there's 20, 30 that Bill Pearl used. So I used intuition based on books that I've read that Bill Pearl wrote, like Keys to the Inner Universe, and videos I've seen of him actually training, and I can with certainty say that these two movements in particular directly contributed to his arm growth. Now, they certainly weren't the only two, but they definitely did help him. The first one I'll talk about today is the standing close grip barbell tricep curl, and the second is the lying supine close grip barbell tricep curl to forehead. I know it's a mouthful, but it's not that difficult of an exercise. I'll explain it to you in detail. But the first exercise, the standing close grip barbell tricep curl, he used to do with incredible poundage. There's videos online of him using 135 pounds and up, and it really shows that he trained his triceps using power movements, not so much just reps, really explosive, heavy weight, and that's how he really grew those bulbous triceps. So I'll go into those exercises in a little bit and explain them to you, and I'll demonstrate them for you as well. Across the board, a tricep extension is pretty much the same no matter what angle or what position you're at. But the standing close grip barbell tricep curl is essentially a standing tricep curl. Now, I'm going to explain to you the way in which Bill Pearl did it according to Keys to the Inner Universe, because that's his most well-known book, and I take it that that is the most accurate example of the way he actually used this exercise and the way he incorporated it and the way he did it himself. So it is designed to overload the entire tricep region. That is the medial, the lateral, and the long head of the tricep, all three. And that goes back to what we were saying, that this is not a pump movement. This is really an exercise to be explosive and use heavy poundage and really overload the triceps like nothing else, really. They're a lot better than any kind of kickback variation, I can tell you that much. So the first thing you want to do is you want to grasp a moderately heavy barbell with an overhand grip about 6 inches apart, so it's a fairly close grip. You will then bring the barbell to your chest, so you'll power clean it up, and then you'll press it overhead. You will inhale, and then you'll lower the weight in a semicircular motion behind your head. Now, you want to make sure that you only bend at the elbows. So you want your upper arm to still be fairly straight, to be up in the air, and you don't want it to move too much. You want to have that upper arm locked and in a vertical position throughout. Once your forearm touches your bicep at the bottom of the movement, you can return to the starting position, and you want to make sure to follow that semicircular pattern all the way up. Also, make sure to keep your upper arm tucked close to your head throughout the entire lift. You don't want to have your arms split apart too much. Now, naturally they will, but you want to keep them as tight to your head as possible. So in the next slide, I'll actually demonstrate this for you. Okay, so this is the standing close grip barbell tricep curl. Pretty much, you're standing erect, you are power cleaning the barbell to your chest, pressing it overhead, and following in a semicircular manner to press the barbell back over your head. Now, with this lift, I know certain individuals that they get some shoulder pain when their arm is kind of in this straight, locked, upright position. So I would definitely recommend taking this exercise very slow, but it's a pretty simple one, to be honest. Yet it can be extremely effective, especially if you're using heavier poundage, to really overload those triceps. And it's a wonderful lift. It's really underutilized. You never see anybody using it anymore, especially not as a power movement, as a power building movement. But that's how Bill Pearl used it. And this exercise is fantastic. It's one of the best. It's a great barbell exercise. And if you have any questions regarding it, let me know in the comment section, but we'll go on to the next exercise now. So I can understand if some people think this name is pretty intimidating, but it really is the perfect name because it explains the lift in its entirety. It is a lying, supine, close grip barbell tricep curl to your forehead. Just like the previous lift, it is designed to overload the entire tricep region. So that is the medial, the lateral, and the long head. It is not something you use for a pump, it is something you use to power build, to make your triceps both strong and big. So just like the previous lift, you will grasp a moderately heavy barbell with an overhand grip about 6 inches apart, so a close grip. The difference here is you will lie flat on a bench, supine bench, so that's just your standard flat bench, and you will bring the barbell to your chest. So however you would normally get a barbell to your chest for a chest press or a pullover, it's the same way you do it here. You will keep the barbell in line with your shoulders, so you want to press it up, and you will keep it in line with your shoulders. So you don't want to let the barbell dip down, towards your feet, and you don't want to let it fall upwards towards your head. You want to have it strong, and you want to be in control of it, in line with your shoulders. Now, you will inhale and lower the weight in a semicircular pattern, just like the other lift. It's a tricep extension. They pretty much all work the same. The difference here is that the barbell is hitting a different part of your body quite literally. It is literally touching a different part of your body instead of your upper back, your lower neck region. Now it's touching your forehead, but it's still working the tricep all the same. But in this lift, it's really important that you're always in control of the weight. You might ask why? Well, you're literally touching your forehead. So if you were to drop it here, at any point of the lift, you could you could hit your throat, you could hit your head, and that would obviously be very bad. So just be reasonable and be cautious here and take it slow. And once you work up to pretty heavy poundage and you feel more comfortable, feel free to just keep rising. But until that point, just take it slow. There's no reason to get hurt here. And you want to make sure to only bend at the elbows, so keep the upper arm vertical throughout the entire movement. And to know when to go up, you want to actually touch the barbell to your forehead. Just lightly touch it. I wouldn't say tap it because you don't want to hit your skull. You'll just touch your forehead. And at the same time, it should be a simultaneous action where your forearm and bicep touch. So at that moment, you will press back up in the same semicircular pattern, and you've completed a rep. So in the following video, I'll actually explain this for you, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, so this is the lying supine close grip barbell tricep curl to forehead. An exercise with a really long name, but is very simple to follow. As you can see, I have seated myself on a supine bench, a flat bench. My back is fairly flat. I have brought the barbell to my chest, pressed it upwards, and I am following in a semicircular pattern, bending at my elbow and bringing the barbell to my skull. I am barely, lightly touching my head. I am not slamming it down. I am not hitting my head. I am just making contact and pressing back up. Now, as you can see, my brachialis muscle and my biceps are touching a little bit, but if you're a bigger man, a man of Bill Pearl's size, or perhaps a professional bodybuilder, your arms will definitely touch together. I don't have the biggest arms in the world, so I can't really demonstrate that perfectly, but for anybody that has bigger arms, you will definitely notice that, and that's ideal. That's what you want to happen. So these are two exercises that I am certain Bill Pearl used to develop his large arms. There are videos online of him using these exercises, and they're wonderful. They're great to add to any training routine. No matter what your training routine is, everybody loves to train arms, and your tricep makes up 2/3 of your arms, so hitting them hard, heavy, and often is only going to benefit your arms overall. So I hope you all enjoyed this, and if you want to see any more content on Bill Pearl, let me know. He's my favorite bodybuilder of all time. I've been speaking with him, so I have other tips and tricks that he's told me along the way. Nothing necessarily that's private matter, just things that I've learned and I think you may be interested in knowing about. So let me know if you want to see more of that, and make sure to give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, this is Forgotten Fitness signing out. Bye-bye.